come to the very back of your mat. And then just stand up nice and tall, and you can bring your hands on your hips and let your knees be nice and soft. And then from here, just think about growing the crown of your head nice and tall, and then nod your chin down towards your chest, but don't let it come all the way to your chest. And then just stack your spine all the way back up. Again, kind of think of getting that little extra bit of height at the top, and then nod your chin and round all the way down. Keeping your hands on your hips. When your hips start to move, think about hinging at the hip, reaching your tailbone back, or sitting bone back behind you, and then round all the way down. Keep your knees nice and soft. And then from here, think about rooting down the weight through your heels, curling yourself all the way up. Think about those hands on your hips sort of opening up through the front of your hips. And then stack your spine all the way up tall, keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. And then pause with your head at the top. One more time, rolling all the way down. Nodding your chin, curling your spine, sending your ribs towards your hips as you lower all the way down. Think about like smushing your fingers in your hip crease as you round down. Let your elbows be soft, shoulders be heavy. And then this time, let your arms come all the way down towards the floor. And then just come up onto your fingertips and think about lengthening your spine, reaching your sitting bones back behind you, crown of your head in front, and then soften all the way down. One more time, finding a little bit of that length. You can always bring your hands to your shins if you need a little bit more height. And then round all the way back down. And then from here, you're going to slowly walk yourself out and find yourself in an all-fours position. Your hands right underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips, and then tuck your tailbone under, feel your hips open up as you round to the low back and mid back, and then finally dropping your head, and then untuck your spine, or untuck your tailbone, lengthen through the front of your body, send your chest through your arms as you lengthen and lift your head. And then one more time, from the base of your spine, tuck the tailbone under, feel your tailbone reach between your legs, and round your spine up towards the ceiling. And then uncurl, reaching your tailbone back behind you, lengthen through the front of your body, heels of the hands reaching back towards your knees. And then pause and find a nice neutral pelvis and spine. So thinking that you could have like a bowl of water or something resting on your sacrum and that would not move. You're going to slide your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Your chest will lower slightly, but your arms stay straight. And then reach into the floor. Press down as you feel your shoulder blades separate away from your shoulder or from your spine. And then let them slide in and press up. And again, let them slide in towards your spine and then press away. Check in with your hands. Make sure that you're pressing from all four corners of your hands rather than just the heel of your hand or your fingertips. 2 more. Again, that sacrum stays nice and still. And then pause and find that nice neutral place here. Think about externally rotating, wrapping the upper arm in so you find that support through the scapula and the lat armpit area. And then you're just going to walk your hands forward and sit your heels back towards your, or sit your butt back towards your heels. And then you're going to find that press down of the hands, that engagement of the lats from drawing the heels of your hands towards your knees, and you're going to come up and find yourself in a nice supported, like kneeling plank position. Support through your back, and then send your hips back again. Reach the hands forward, get a nice stretch here, and then press down through the hands. Feel the heels of the hands draw back as you come all the way forward. Tuck the hips under slightly, lengthen through the front of the chest, and then all the way back into your back. We're going to do 3 more like this. Finding that support of the shoulder girdle and back. And forward. Pausing here for a second and sliding yourself all the way back. Last one. Good, and then from here, you can either stay in this position or you can walk your knees underneath you into your all fours again, your choice. You're gonna keep your hips nice and square. Press down through the tops of the legs, and you're gonna tap your right arm to your left shoulder, and then switch. You can also bring your knees a little bit wider, and then tap. Keeping that tailbone tucked under, moving nice and slowly with control, making sure that you're engaged through that arm that's staying on the ground before you lift the other. And then think about that sling across the front of your torso, holding those abdominals from the armpit to the opposite inner thigh. 3 more. Think about length through the chest so you're not starting to round your body. 2. Last one to each side. Very last one. And then bring your knees wide if they aren't already, and then press yourself back into a nice child's pose here. Think about your forehead coming down onto the ground. And then just roll your forehead and maybe your hips as well from one side to the other, giving your forehead a nice little massage, trying to release any tension you have through the face. And then just take one more second here to breathe. And then when you're ready, you're going to come all the way up to a kneeling position. And you're going to grab one or both of your weights, your advice. I'm going to go with one, but I'll keep the other one nearby. So, you have one weight. You're going to bring it straight to your chest. You're going to tuck your tailbone under. And you're just going to extend your arms as you hinge back. So, your little small weight is sort of counteracting the weight of your torso leaning back. Your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and head are all in a line. Then you're going to bring that weight back to your chest as you come up. So press the weight away as you hinge back, and then coming forward. You can also do this with your toes tucked under if you prefer for that little foot stretch. But for me, that pulls too much on my knees. So I prefer press the tops of my feet down into the floor. And reach as you hinge back. Hips and ribs are moving together. 3 more. 2. Last one. And this time we're going to change it. Pausing up tall. You're going to extend your arms long and then hinge back. And pull the weight in as you come forward. And You're going to take the weight with you as you hinge, and then come up tall. We're not extending the arm yet. I got confused. And back up. Hinge. Now that weight is not working against you, but not quite working with you. 2 more. Last one. Moving like you're between 2 panes of glass, come all the way up and pause. From here, now, without leaning back, you're keeping your knees, your ribs, your hips and shoulders all stacked in a nice line. You're just going to extend that weight straight out in front of you and pull it back in. And think about your hands staying below shoulder height. This may be very light. That's totally fine. You can always grab both weights if you want that little extra challenge. But again, make sure that you're not starting to lean back as you press those arms away. 4 more. And then we will grab both weights. So you want your other one nice and close by. 2. Last one. And then grab your other weight if you don't have it yet. And you're going to pick them up. And you're going to bring your hands back to your chest, elbows nice and wide. You're going to extend your arms long. And you're going to open them out to a side. And then you're going to bring them around like you're hugging a tree. Again, staying up nice and tall. And if this is too much, you can always come down into low kneeling. For 4. 3. Think about closing your ribs as you bring the arms in, but resisting them opening all the way as you bring the arms open. 2. Last one. Hands stay below the shoulders. And then rotate the palms to face the ceiling and bring them back in. From here, you're going to reach your right arm out as you rotate to the left. And then pull that right arm back in. Left arm stays nice and still. rotate to the left as you reach your right arm long, and then resist as you pull it back in. And extend and twist, and bring it back in. Think like your spine is a piece of rebar, and you're just rotating around it, sort of like the, what is that, the barber shop, the little red and white twirl. Last one to the left, that right arm, and then pull it back in, and switch to the other side. Reach with that left arm, and then resist back to center. Then reach. That right arm isn't really pulling back, you're just kind of going along with the twist of your torso. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then here you're going to reach your right arm, pull back with the left like you're going to elbow someone, and then switch. Palm still stays facing up as you pull it back. And twist. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good. Now, arms back by your side, but rotate your palms to face in. You can drop this and do this without the weight if you'd like. You're going to reach your right arm up like you're walking or running and moving your arms as you move your left arm back in space. And you're going to come back to that starting position. And again, right arm forward, left arm back like you're elbowing someone and forward. You're going to give that little slight rotation of the torso and then bring it back. Slight rotation and bring it back. If you haven't sensed a theme, this is a kind of running or walking centric class. 2 more. Last one. And center. Now it's the other side. So left arm pulls forward, right arm back, and center. This is a much smaller rotation than what we were doing when we were extending our arms, palms up. And center. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. All right, now here, this feels ridiculous, but is fun. So again, you can drop your weights if you want, palms face in. Your torso is going to just gently move from one side to the other as you quick, keeping your lower body nice and still with those arms, pumping them like you're running, and then trying to pick up the pace a little for 10, 9, 8, try to pick up the pace a little bit more, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then just let your arms hang by your sides. Bring both weights into the right hand, and then you're going to bring your left hand behind your head. Think about lifting up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to let those ribs on the right side come all the way towards your hip as you find that separation on the left side, and then coming all the way back up. And again, letting yourself side bend over to the right and back up. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. And then bring your left leg out to the side. You're going to put your weights down and your hands are going to come onto the floor. You can tuck your right toes under if you'd like, but you want your right knee underneath your hip and your left toes pointing forward, and then you're going to sit back, hips toward your heel, and then coming forward, stretching out that left inner thigh, and forward. A couple times going at your own pace here, really focusing on this nice stretch, and then thinking about as you come back, reaching your tailbone back behind you so you're not rounding your spine as you come back. You're keeping that nice long neutral spine, and then coming forward. 2 more. Last one. Good, and then pause here. You're going to come up nice and tall. Hands behind your head. And you're going to lean out to this nice long line here. Side bend down. and up, and down, and up, just coming to this nice long line. If this is too much, a hand on your hip, or this top hand can give you a little bit of leverage. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Side bend all the way up and over to the left. Think about tucking that tailbone under, getting a nice stretch through this now right hip flexor. And then coming all the way back up and grab onto your weights with the other hand. Again, you can have them both in the same hand if you prefer. Left hand down by your side, right hand behind your head. Find that nice length. Side bend up and over to the left. Stack your spine up nice and tall. Relaxing with your shoulders. Even though the weights are pulling you down, it's an active pull. You're not just like letting the weights do all of the work. And back up. 5 more. 6 more. And as you go, feel this distance shorten, and then to come up, feel the connection between your right hip and rib. Make sure your head hasn't rounded forward. 2. And last one. You can put the weights off to the side. Coming onto a different type of all fours. Your right leg is going to come out. Toes facing forward. Back toes can be tucked under or pressing down, your choice. And then sitting your tailbone, lengthened tailbone back towards your heels. Head stays nice and, or neck stays nice and long as well. 3 more. Actually, we did a lot more of them on the other side, so we'll do another like 15 seconds or so here. If you find a spot that feels nice, you're getting a good stretch, take a moment and just stay there. And then when you're ready, come all the way up. Again, tuck that tailbone under, find length, bring those hands behind your head, and then find yourself in that nice long line, and then you're gonna lower down and lift up to that line, and then down, and up. Again, you can bring this arm to the sides, give you a little bit of assistance, a counterweight, if you will. 4 more. Ooh, there's a nice breeze now. It's very hot here today. 1 more. All the way up and side bend up and over now to your right. Tuck that tailbone under to get that good stretch. Good. And then from here, we're going to come onto our backs. You can take the weights with you. Give ourselves a break from kneeling, and then we're going to do some bridging, and we'll come back to a little bit more kneeling before we are done. So, laying all the way down on your back. Just take a second to let yourself settle here. You can bring a hand onto your belly, one on your chest if you'd like. Or just take a nice big breath in. Feel yourself expand, feel your back ribs press gently into the mat as you breathe in. Your ribs reach east to west. And let it all go. And try to feel nice and heavy here on the mat. Notice if your ribs are flared. Notice if your shoulders want to roll forward. And then bring your arms to a nice goalpost position. And then from here, you're going to bring your right leg up into tabletop. And you're going to bring your left leg up to meet it. Glue your legs all the way together and lower your heels by your butt. Bring your knees in towards your chest as you think about lengthening through the tailbone. And then let your knees come away from it. good. Making sure that those back ribs are staying heavy on the mat, and then bring your knees back in. Again, as you bring your knees in, lengthen through the tailbone. Your arms are in a goal post position. One, it makes things a little bit harder, but also it doesn't let you like clench through the chest to have your chest grip and do the work for you. You're sort of isolating your abdominals a bit more as they come away. And then back in 2 more like this. Last one. And up. And you're going to lower your right leg down and your left leg down. Arms can come by your sides. And then from here, press your feet down into the floor. As you press your feet down, feel your knees reach forward, your hips lift up. Find yourself in a nice supported bridge here. Open through the front of the hips, and then just tap your hips straight down. And then lift the hips up, and then tap them down. And lift. And lower. 4 more like this. Opening through the front of the hips, and then hinging at the hips to bring them down. Lift. And then try to get a little bit more space, lowering the hips a little farther, like even a millimeter away from your head, closer to your heels each time. Last one like this. And then come all the way down. From here, tuck the tailbone under. Feel the tailbone lengthen as you press that low back gently into the mat. The hips are drawn up by your ribs. Keep that rotation of the pelvis as you slowly articulate and throw yourself up, off of the mat. And then melt your spine down. So starting at the sacrum, trying to reach those hips closer and closer towards the heels as you melt down. Untuck the pelvis at the bottom and find yourself in a nice neutral spine. And then again, tuck the tailbone under, round all the way up, and here you're going to pause. Put all the weight into this left leg, and you're going to bring your right leg up into a tabletop position. From here, if it's comfortable, you're going to float your left arm up, and then bend your left elbow towards the floor. Actually, grab your weight here, if you'd like, and you're going to reach your arm up, and then draw it down towards the floor. And then lift it up. And draw it down. And lift. And draw it in. 4 more like this. 3. 2, hips stay nice and still. Last one. Press up and pause. Drive your knee into your chest and extend it long. Drive that knee into your chest and extend. 4 more. And we're going to combine the 2 moves. 3, 2. Last one. Pause with the knee in. As you extend the leg, bend the arm down. Press the arm up as you bend the knee in. And extend. And extend and bend. Check in with that right shoulder. Take a breath. Make sure it's relaxed on the floor to support you. It's not pulling in. 2 more. Last one. And then lower that leg all the way down. Lower that arm all the way down. Drop the weight and then curl your spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your left knee into your chest and extend your right leg long. Think about drawing that knee over towards the armpit on the left side, reaching through that right heel. And then you're going to lower your legs down. Grab the weight towards your right side. Just let it rest there for a moment. And then you're going to tuck your tailbone under. Feel the hips draw towards the ribs. Heel yourself up. And then pause the top. You're going to put that weight in your right leg without shifting your hips over to the right as you lift that left leg up into tabletop. Grabbing onto the weight with that right arm. Starting in a 90-degree position, press the arm away up towards the ceiling, and then pull it back in. And then press away, and pull. 6 more. 5. Check in with that left elbow, make sure it's nice and relaxed. If you need to drop your hips lower or put them all the way on the ground, of course you can do this whole thing like that. 2. Last one, leave the arm long. Extend the leg. Bend it in all the way past 90 into your chest. And press away and bend it in. 3 more. Like this. Make sure that right knee has not started to fall out to the side. You're resisting in. 2. Last one. Bend the knee in. Bend the elbow as the leg extends. Press the arm up as the knee bends in. And switch. And switch. Pressing down through that right leg. And up. 4 more. 3. Hips stay nice and still. 2. Last one. And lower that leg all the way down. Lower the arm all the way down. And peel yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring now this right leg into your chest. Open it up towards that right armpit, and then extend that left leg long. Reaching through the heel. Take a nice big breath in. And exhale out. Good. Lowering both legs down. And then bring your hands overhead, reach through the arms, and then curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Bring one thigh in, and then the other. And then relax your shoulders, press your thighs into your hands as you rock yourself all the way up. Place your feet down nice and gently. And then you're going to spin around and come into all fours one more time. Sorry, not all fours, a tall kneeling position. 6 here. You're going to bring your right knee forward, and you're going to have your left knee back. Tuck the tailbone under so you're nice and open through this left side. Let me do this on a slight angle here. So, you can take both weights or just one, or none, your choice. And again, you have that opening through the left side. You're going to think about gently pulling that heel back towards your left leg, towards the midline, with the right leg to engage through the hamstring and the calf. From here, you're going to extend your arms out long, and you're going to twist over to the right and lift back up. And twist back over to the right. And up. Thinking like you're chopping wood, but maybe the wood is like your thigh as you rotate over to the right side. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then up. And then tuck those left toes under and stand all the way up. From here, you are going to start with the weights by your left hip. And as you bend both knees, you're going to lift the weights up towards the right side and then lower them down towards your hip. You can slightly rotate your chest open and then rotate your chest slightly open to the left as you lift them up. And down and up. And if this is too much, you're going to go from down just right here to your shoulder. Or you can keep the arms long and twist. And if your mat is dewy and squishy and nice and padded like mine, consider doing this on a less squishy mat unless you want the additional balance challenge. 3 more. 2. And last one. Good. And then from here, just lower all the way down and drop your weights. You're going to bring your hands down onto the ground, and you're going to walk your right foot slightly farther forward, and then walk your left foot slightly farther back. And then come up onto your fingertips, or if you can do this with flat hands, that's great. Finding that nice long back, long spine. And then from here, tuck your toe under and lengthen through the back leg. And then tap that knee down and lengthen. And tap it down and lengthen. 2 more. Last one. Good. Keeping that leg lifted, unless you would rather lower it down, your choice. And you're just gonna rotate open towards the right and place that hand back down. And open towards the right and back down. 2 more. Like hot Pilates today. Last one. Good. And then from here, send yourself back with your toes up towards the ceiling. Again, this left hip is tucked under. And you're just going to place your toes down and find a nice long lunge here. And then come back up tall, stretching out through the back of this left leg. And then hinge forward and back one more time. Good. And then bring your right knee down. Your left leg is going to come in front and grab your weights. Tuck that right, tuck both hips under. You can't really just tuck one under. But have your hips nice and square, torso facing forward. And you're just going to extend your arms out in front of you and chop over to the left and back up. And over to the left and to the center. Thinking almost about as much about the stretch as you do the rotation, as you do creating some resistance with those arms as you move. 4 more. 3. And last one. Good. Pause with those arms near your chest. Tuck your right toes under, and come up and find your lunge. You're going to start with those arms over by your right hip, and as you lower, you're going to lift them up and twist. And lower them towards your hip, and twist. Making sure you're not arching your back, but you're rotating as you almost come forward slightly. My voice did a weird thing there. Twist and rotate. 5 more. If you're feeling extra wobbly, bring your feet a little bit wider, like right to left wide, not front to back wide. 2 more. And last one. Good. And then come all the way down, drop your weights. And then slide your front foot a little bit farther forward, your back foot a little bit farther back, whatever feels good. Hands on the inside of this right foot. And just find a nice long spine. And then tuck the toes under on the back foot and lengthen through that back leg, lengthen through your spine, and then drop it down. And lengthen, and drop it down. 5 more. Not 5 more, we did like 6 total. 1 more after this. Last one. And then you're going to reach up and twist and down. And again, you can do this with your leg lifted or not. Your choice. I just help. 1 more. Good. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands up towards your hips. Lift those left toes up towards the ceiling. Heel them back. Tucking under, now getting a stretch through your left hamstring, and then come forward and get that nice hip stretch again. 3 more. Two. And last one. And then come all the way up again. Come to lay on your side. Your weights can be out of the way, you don't need them here. Stack your legs one on top of the other. And you want your knees stacked, which will mean that your hips are stacked, and you want your torso in line with your hips, so you're not rounded or like at a weird diagonal. Reaching nice and long through the tailbone. You're just going to lift your top leg up to about hip height, and then lower it all the way down. And then lift it up. and down. Relaxing your head onto your bicep. Three more. Last one. Extend that leg all the way down underneath you as though you could stand on it. Right leg is gently pressing into the floor, and then resist to bend it back in. And extend. And bend. And extend. And bend it in. Two more. Moving nice and slowly. Last one. Pause here. Keep the leg long, hinge at the hip. You can have your knee be nice and soft if you need as you bring it forward. And then sweep it back, thinking about, again, opening through the front of the hip. And then hinge to bring it forward. And sweep it back. Two more. Last one. And then bend that knee underneath you. And you're going to roll onto your stomach. You're going to take your weights with you. However, if you would prefer to do this without a weight, by all means, that is totally fine. So, make sure you have space because you're going to bring your arms to a nice T. And bring your forehead or your cheek to the ground. Just take a second here. Get acclimated with being on the ground. And then you're going to lift your head and you're going to have your forehead, or rather the tip of your nose, just kind of grazing the floor. You are going to bring your arms into a goalpost position rather actually than straight up. So keep neck is long. You are not looking up. You are looking straight down. Hips are pressed firmly into the floor. Your ribs are gently drawn in towards one another with that nice gentle wrapping. And then you're going to lift the arms up just to shoulder height. Feel your shoulder blade slide in and then lower down. Feel the shoulder blade lower away. If you have a hard time feeling the slide of your shoulder blade, then you're going to extend your arms to a T and do it from here. And look. And again, you can always drop those weights. This is certainly hard enough without them. We're going to do 4 more. 3. Or again, from that goalpost, 2. Last one. And lower your arms all the way down. Lower your feet towards the mat. Give your hips a little shake. And then from here, you're going to bring your arms back by your sides. Palms are on the ground and being washed today. All right, and then you're going to, again, turn your gaze towards the floor. Let your shoulders be heavy, and then you're going to lengthen through the crown of your head. Externally rotate through the upper arm, and now pick your hands up off of the floor, and then you're going to lift your hands up an inch, and then back down to hip height, and up an inch, and back down to hip height. And again, drop the weights if this is too much. 4, 3, 2, last one. Let them lower all the way down and roll off your fingers. Keep your hands where they are, but now reach back towards your toes and lift your torso up into a nice extension, and lower halfway down, and then reach and lift. And lower. 4 more. 3, 2. Those shoulder blades are gently sliding in towards your spine as you lift. Last one. And then lower everything all the way down. Cheek towards the floor. Give your hips a shake. And then you're going to press yourself back and switch on to the other side. Again, move your weights out of the way. And you're going to lay in that like very 90-90 position with your spine, your legs. Again, knees are stacked. Picking that leg up and then lowering it straight down. And lift and lower. You can bring your hand onto your glute if you would like. And you can feel, if you like, press in at your sitting bone. You can feel how it moves the bottom of your pelvis as you lift and lower that leg. 2, Last one, leave it lifted. Extend your leg all the way down underneath you. Hip is open. Back is not arched. And then again, you can feel that sitting bone reach into your hand as you bend your knee in. And you can feel that it sort of goes, not away, but like it just comes to a more neutral position as you extend. But then you want to feel it lengthen and drop into your hand as you bend it in. And 2 more. And it'll be the same thing when we straighten the leg forward, or sweep it forward and back. Pause here. Let it sweep forward. Feel the sitting bone reaching into your hand. And then sweep it back. And then sweep it forward. And back. 4 more here. 2. And last one. And then bring your leg on top of the other one, and then just press yourself up and come onto your knees. Bring them nice and wide and sit back into a child's pose here. Feel your sitting bones lengthen back behind you as your chest drops towards the floor. And then press your hands into the floor and think about externally rotating through the upper arm, getting a nice stretch across the mid-back and your armpits as well. This is like more of an active down dog. Or not, what am I talking about? We're not doing down dog. More of an active child's pose here. And then coming up into all fours. You're going to reach your right arm up, twist open to the right, and then feed it under to the left. You can extend your left arm overhead. Think about pressing into the floor to help rotate you open, using your breath to try to relax through that back, to maybe give you a little bit more space. And then coming back into your all fours, lift that left arm up, twist and rotate, and then feed it underneath over to the right side, lowering your head to the floor. Extend that right arm overhead if you'd like, and think about finding that twist and rotation. Hips are high in the air. And take a nice breath. And then bring your hands back underneath, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Sit back on your heels in a nice rounded position. And slowly stack yourself all the way up. Reach your hands up overhead. Side bend over to the right. Place your right hand on the ground and reach with that left hand. Then rotate towards the floor if that feels good. Or a little rotation up towards the ceiling. And then come all the way up, side bend up and over to the left. And again, you can add a little rotation towards the floor. Right hip is heavy here. Or open towards the ceiling. And then come all the way up. Pause with your arms in the air. Externally rotate, feel your shoulders relax down. And then press down. Think about growing nice and tall as your arms find your sides. And you are all finished. Thank you.